Hello y'all, thank you for hitting that subscribe button. There are no magic brushes. Does that surprise you? One of the questions that I'm asked most is what brushes do I use, especially in my miniature paintings, to get that really super fine detail. The truth is, all you need is a point. A point can come from a brush, a point can come from a toothpick, a point can come from those little clay tools that are needles, or a needle. The clay tools are just easier because they have a long handle. What I look for is a brush with some spring in it. So in other words, when you flick it, it springs back, which means I'm pretty much in the synthetics for the most part. That's just my preference as opposed to hog bristle or sables or anything else. They hold up better than other brushes, and I'm really tough on them because a lot of times for detail I'll do a stipple kind of an action up and down, or a hashtag sort of an action where you're doing the same repetitive brush stroke. Those are hard on brushes. And they also need to not be just one or two hairs, okay? You need something that's thick enough, like a watercolor brush for instance, that's going to hold your paint so that you can get, with a high fluid paint, high flow paint, you can get the nice even sort of flow out to that point. Those are the things that you need in a brush. So I've been trying to write down my little list here of the brushes that I've enjoyed using the most, but they're all over the place, and nothing, there's not one particular brand that I absolutely love above all others. Keirce, their Golden Series 28A, the Zero, works for me. Keirce is a company in Ireland, so it might be more expensive to purchase their brushes, but Princeton, their Summit 615 OR Round Zero, again. Rosemary's 1.5 inch Kolinsky Sable Flat. I actually like for the flat if you want something that's sort of almost blending but not quite. However, again, you know, that's not to say that you can't find a less expensive one that meets the same criteria. Joe Miller's Signature Series, their Cat's Tongues, 3/4 inch Cat's Tongues 50/50 series, Trekell SP 2018. And then I also buy these makeup brushes, super cheap as I can find them on Amazon, and I use these for blending instead of expensive blender brushes. A couple that I'm using currently, and again this will change as soon as these wear out, I'll find some other ones to use. I'm using the Trekell Legion 910OR USA, and that's kind of nice. It's a round, and this particular one is a Zero, and I'm using a number 2 Creative Mark Mimic, so that's a less expensive one. And it's a 2 round. It's an artist products. I don't see a series on here, but anyway, none of these are consistent in their price, even in the shape. I like the rounds. I like the combers. I like the rakes. I like the filberts. I like the cat's tongues. So I guess the answer is just find what works for you. And truly, I just have a variety, so I'll pull out what I need for whatever project I'm working on. Hope that's some insight.